Hi, Sally Holmes here, and I'm going to do a little demonstration of how to use Inkylicious Ink Dusters. I'm using just plain smooth card today, and I'm just going to dust some Adirondack Peach Bellini over the middle of the card. It's quite a pale colour, so you don't have to dab off too much, because otherwise you won't get much colour intensity on the card. With brighter colours, I do tend to dab off some of the colour onto a mat or a piece of scrap paper. Okay, I'm going to swap now to mountain roads and brush a little bit more of this across the card. This is a bit brighter colour, so I've dabbed a little bit off onto my mat. Next I'm going to put a moon over that colour, which I've cut out with spellbinders out of a post-it. And I'm going to use some more mountain rose just around the edge, just to bring out the shape of the moon. With the ink dusters, if you want a little bit more colour intensity, you can press on a little bit more, but generally you don't need to press on at all. It's very light, very loose. Make sure you keep your wrists loose and hold it as you would do a pen or pencil. Next I'm going to use denim, and I'm going to use this across the top part of the card. I'm picking up a little bit extra ink off my mat just to increase that intensity of colour. Dabbing a bit of colour off with this is quite important, because otherwise you might get a few streaks with the brushes. With the ink dusters, it's really easy to layer up colour, so you can start off quite pale and then get some darker colours as you go. I'm going to take the post-it off now, and I'm going to start to add my hills. I've got a piece of paper here, a torn piece of paper, which, as you can see, has been used rather a lot. It's one of my favourite hills. So I'm going to use Adirondack eggplant for this, and my purple ink duster. When you're doing things like hills, you cross hatch across the edge from the scrap paper or the whatever mask you're using onto the card, and that will help to get a really defined edge. And now I'm going to use a different part of the tear to make some more hills further down the page, and again cross-hatching from the scrap paper onto the card and dusting that colour over. The closer the hill, the darker you want it to be, really. so that's why I've used a bit more intense colour in the bottom part here. I'm just going to pinch the bristles of my brush together and drag it across the moon so that I can get a cloud effect across the moon. Pinching the bristles of the brush together gets a little bit more intense colour in a more concentrated area. And then I'm just going to brush a little bit more of the eggplant around the edges. I'm going to start stamping now. I'm using the Inkylicious stamp set called Create a Collage Meadow. There's some lovely seed heads in here, and that's what I'm going to use across my moon. I'm still stamping with the Adirondack eggplant. There's a separate stem for this set, or there's two separate stems in this set, but I'm using this one, and you can angle it however you want it to fit with your seed heads. As Inkylicious stamps are clear, if there's any slight problem you can obviously go back over it again and make sure you get it in the same place. Just repositioning my stamp on the acetate block there. I'm then using the same stamp to produce some bits of grass at the bottom of the piece of card, just changing the angle slightly so it doesn't look like the same stamp. Next I'm going to take the grass seed head off the same set of stamps and ink that up in the same ink, and add that to some of the stems and just loosely at the bottom of the card. Finally, I'm stamping a little silhouette dragonfly from the Summer Morn stamp plate. And I think that's probably it. You can add glitter glue. I've used Stickles Stardust and added that to the seed heads and the dragonfly and made it into a card. Thanks for watching my first video tutorial. All of the products used in this video can be bought from Inkylicious. You can find them at www.inkylicious.co.uk.